And it's time for Minecraft and Formula 1 and IndyCar stuff. The boat races have been for like some time now. And let's see, what should we start with? What I can say about the IndyCar, because fuck that. I would say after the first part of the race, I stopped watching, and when it was 16 laps left, I started to watch, then fell asleep, and then I wake up when they were talking with willpower that he won. So yeah, I didn't see the last part. Maybe this is good because I don't want to see any Penske cars winning races. The only reason why they race, so I want to become not fun to watch. That was what happened to... Where do we have him? There, Linus Lundqvist. Start in P1, then get pushed out or crashed out or whatever you can call, with Marcus Armstrong, I think. And that ruined maybe his race 100%. So after that I didn't care about this race. So some more fun stuff. We can go to Formula 1. So it started with rain, and the haas, let's see if we can see, and also nothing happened in the beginning, no crashes or something. The only big stuff that happened, oh shit, when did this happen? Oh yeah, sometime, but I don't know when. I don't know if, I mean, I didn't help Paris, but yeah, that happened. But here we have Magnusson and Hulkenberg was on the wet tire, and everyone else was on the intermediates. And I thought like, oh my god, will Haas get some good points because of this? And thankfully, this didn't last for long. When Kevin Magnusson was like P4 or whatever he was, the tires started to dropping off and he needed to go and change, and then everything he gained by driving on the wets was lost. Oh shit, fuck me, that scared me. Fucking airtime, go away. 30 seconds more. Fuck me. No, we can at least take the elevator to Messine. What? And we will do like always, collecting more fishes. 1413 2700. God damn it. we go back. Let's see what happened more. Yeah, this is Logan Sargent. I think he was the first safety car. Norris didn't go in. I don't know what the problem was, why he didn't go in. But yeah, Verstappen, Russell, and Piastri went in. And this is made... Norris getting behind Verstappen, Russell. So all the stuff he maybe gained by staying out longer, yeah, didn't lead to anything fun, sadly. And Alex Albon did some overtakes with 2 cars without crashing. That's somewhat good. Until he got then Carlos Sainz behind him, and then they crashed out. Yeah, here we have the aftermaths of that. But yeah, but most of the race, it was fight between Verstappen, Norris, and Russell. And then it was just fight between Russell and Hamilton. After they both get past the Piastri. Oh yeah, Charles Leclerc had some problem in the whole race, so he ended the race early. Carlos Sainz ended the race because he crashed into... He get out on the wet and then lose control and then crash into Alex Albon. And Logan crashed out by himself. So both Williams and both Ferraris were out, and yeah, and Perez crashed out by himself also, like Logan Sargent, so he also DNF'd. Yeah, and then Max Verstappen won, Norris P2, and Russell P3, and Hamilton P4, Piastri P5. 6 Alonso, 7 Stroll, 8 Ricciardo, 9 Gasly, 10 Ocon. And Tsunoda, let's see if we can find it. Tsunoda did something similar like Carlos Sainz, but somehow didn't. I think Hulkenberg did some mainstream avoiding. There we have that. Almost didn't succeed to avoid him. Yeah, so he didn't was in the point. So yeah, more points for Alpine. Let's see, 3 points. They had 2 points before, so they have 5 points now. Oh shit, 5 points. Let's see, 5 points. Want the teams. Yeah, they're just 2 points behind Haas. And hopefully Williams will start getting points also, so Haas will lose their position. And let's see, how is the points looking? No, it doesn't sound like, so we need to look here. So Charles Leclerc being 1 race win off is now maybe 2 race wins off. More than that. Norris will soon... Oh yeah, he needed to win to get fastest lap and win. to get past Charles Leclerc, but maybe next race. Oh, Sergio Perez have just 1 point still behind Carlos Sainz. That's good. And it's fight between Oscar Piastri and Russell soon, maybe. Still fight between Hamilton and Alonso. Maybe a fight between Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll. Oh, Ricciardo with more points. Yeah. See. Yeah, so let's go. And see the interviews. Let's see, I want to hear what Norris have to say. Oh shit, this way. Oh, we need sound.
Hey Lando, just how good was it to be fighting for the win again, even though I know ultimately you didn't quite have enough to get it today?
Oh shit. Oh, we can maybe do looking for Fisher while they give some information. Yeah, the biggest question is the safety car and if he should have worked in at the same time. I mean, of course he maybe should. Then is when he didn't go in. Should he go in the lap after? Or the lap after that? Or when should he go in? I mean, probably a lot of information on yeah, what made him lose and what made him win?
I mean, we did. We had the speed to win. Just I got unlucky with the safety car. You know,
yeah, probably. Maybe that could just be that.
I was leading by 15 seconds, and the safety cars.
Oh yeah, thanks to Logan Sargent then. Is it the first time a Williams car makes it Max Verstappen can win a race? Yeah, man. And that's because Logan Sargent cannot control his car. He could've... I mean... Man. What a race it can maybe have been. Without the safety car. What would happen? Would the lead just continue? Let's see, I want to hear Lewis Hamilton. What do he have to say about this?
Felt like one of my worst drives that I've had.
Wait, what? That's interesting. You finished P4, fighting for a podium, and you think that's one of your worst driving. Well, now that's something interesting. Okay. Sure, let's continue in this Hamilton. Oh my god, oh this happened. He got a jump start without more or less not moving. While Norris, he actually moved. The sensor didn't catch that, and because of that, he didn't get a penalty. But Ricciardo got a penalty because the sensor got activated, but not that he actually moved. We will maybe see it here. Let's see.
I had a 5-second penalty for a jump start, but I know I didn't.
I'm not okay. You can see the tires rolling somewhat, but a jump start. It's like if you stop braking and you're rolling back. Is that a jump start? I feel like it's rolling back start. Not qualified to be a jump start. Man, so mean.
Jump the lights, so I was a bit.
I mean, the jump start is when you're starting driving when the lights are still on. So, man, that sensor didn't really like Ricardo. Oh shit, Gasly. Let's see. Yeah, Gasly is the last one. I'm not Esteban Ogone. No. I don't care about Haas. No. Maybe Alex Albon can be interesting to listen to. I mean, it could have been points for Alex Albon. I wanna one more fish for the collection, and black, light blue. Oh yeah, and then I need 2 more buckets. And the shulker box is full, and then the inventory left, and then we will go down to the chest room and place them where they should be. Let's see, can we find one more? Nope, okay, Gasly, your time to shine.
Very happy.
Who do I want to... Oh my god, fucking... Don't scare me. The fuck was
Upptäck
that?
nya Brown Series 9
One more out.
Professionell precision och 100% kontroll.
For the last couple of laps, you were driving so
Oh, Tsunoda could be interesting to... Tsunoda and then Alex Albon. Yeah, Tsunoda lost.
for the last couple of laps, you were driving such a strong race. Just talk me through that moment where you just ran off track and obviously lost the car.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think he was in some good position. And then he lost the car, and I mean, you can say he was lucky that nobody crashed into him, like Hulkenberg could have done. But he could also have been lucky that he didn't lose the control of the car and finish the race in the points. But something I would say somewhat good. More points to Alpine to overtake Haas is a good thing. Haas doesn't deserve the points. They should be taken away from them. Let's just had let the car, if he would have braked more, maybe Alexander wouldn't got hit. And then he could maybe get points. But not seeing Haas getting points is so much better. New fish for the collection? Yep. Oh, one more, and then I need to place them in a shulker box. I need to, I don't need to, but it will be so much easier to do it now than later. Let's see. Yeah, continue, Alex Albon.
Honestly, there's no.
Okay, we're done. Go away.
Mamma,
Va?
det är smellet är slut.
And Lewis Hamilton goes the fastest lap. Let's see. Yeah, the funniest tweets. Let's see if there's any funny tweets from this race. Probably for him, because a Ferrari fan, so probably a lot of memes about Ferrari. So let's see. Oh shit. It's time to place them down. No, this is the wrong one. So yeah, memes about Ferrari is 100% must. Or else he just watched about what's his funny tweets. Then let's see. Ferrari. Maybe the Haas. Going from going to hero to zero, maybe. Oh, that could be a Charles Leclerc meme also. Going from winning a race from not being even close winning a race. Maybe something about Lando Norris. Did they go in pit? Maybe something about Perez, Logan Sargent crashing. Maybe something about Carlos Sainz crashing out Alex Albon. And that could also be... Oh! Something about Charles Leclerc. How his race was. And that they DNF'd. What more? Yeah, I don't think I... Maybe something about Tsunoda and Hülkenberg, maybe. Or Gasly and Perez. But hey, let's see what the funniest tweets have.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are going to somehow try and digest, through the form of memes and potentially me weeping, the Canadian Grand Prix, a race we have deserved for so long.
Oh shit, maybe something about Russell, Norris and Max Verstappen is fighting in the top.
I cannot believe half the things that we witnessed throughout this race. It was twists, it was turns, it was weather, it was strategy, it was Ferrari, it was everything. Your memes were amazing, let's dive into them.
Yeah, let's see how amazing the memes is. From how stuff usually are, they are not funny. Oh my god, his tasty tweets is always almost the worst one. But let's see if any funny tweets will be made.
Oh, Ferrari. Now, I know a lot of you will be tuning in for this specific segment, so I thought I'd start it off pretty much straight away. Because Ferrari, off the back of Monaco, one of the best weekends, at least. Well, I mean, look, they were both on the podium. Of course, Charles Leclerc took the headlines because he won the Monaco Grand Prix. Can you see how I'm kind of diverting the attention back to 2 weeks ago? Now, let's talk about Canada then, shall we? At Steph the Greek, what an absolute horror show of a weekend for Ferrari after the double podium and looking so dominant in Monaco. Now, I was not...
Like I said, this is definition, from his definition, funny.
under the illusion.
Nope.
No, maybe I was, if you watch predictions.
It
But if you
you
didn't watch
had
predictions, I was not under the illusion that Ferrari would dominate round Canada. I
one
thought they
more
would be
fish
quick,
for the
don't get
collection.
me wrong. I genuinely believed
Purple,
that they
yellow.
would be right up there fighting for the win. And they were not. They were rubbish in qualifying and the race. Double DNF. Monaco feels like 20 years ago. At crispy_crouton.
I mean, if it's wrong with the car, I mean, how much can you do? It's like, and also funniest twist now.
Leclerc going to the strategy department after the race.
Nope.
No, it didn't start very well, did it? Of course, starting down in 11th for Charles Leclerc, and then almost immediately having engine problems. And look, wet races, there's always a chance. Okay, you're losing half a second down the straight after literally Charles having to ask, but what is going on? What am I losing? You can't just be wishy-washy with it. Half a second on the straights. Okay, manageable maybe to score some points. And then the strategy happened where you blink and Charles Leclerc is a minute off the back of the pack on hard tyres whilst it's raining.
No, you're lying. It was drying up, so made him even slower. So we went for the hard tires, then it started raining. Yes, don't act like you're fucking retarded, but you are.
At Crystal Horner, Monaco curse could only be stopped for so long. So what you're saying here is that it was a delayed Monaco curse.
True.
And my God, did it come
That you can actually say, but still, funniest tweets,
in
no.
full force. Will I take that? Yes. If we had to choose between the two weekends, of course. But 31 points was the gap between Leclerc and Verstappen, and you're thinking, ooh, maybe. I'm wearing a Ferrari top, and I feel obviously proud to wear it, but also incredibly emotional and vulnerable. At Inferno the Fox. Oh.
Okay, let's see. Okay, funniest tweets. In troubles. Leclerc fans, Ferrari. Look on the positive side, at least things can't get harsh on that track. Well, it was hard tires on a future wet track. So yeah, stop lying.
Hard on a wet track, lapped by the leaders. I still was holding on to something because in the commentary they were saying,
No, okay, it will be soon over.
look, Jenson Button on lap 40, he was in last place and ended up winning the Canadian Grand Prix. It hit lap 40. Charles Leclerc was off the back by a minute, and that was when I thought maybe. But alas, he DNF'd, and Carlos Sainz was out as well for good measure. Yeah, a weekend to definitely forget. Ferrari have been so efficient this year. Let's not turn it into Canada for any more races this year, please. I cannot do this again. At
You
Nick
can.
Stone, just Charles Leclerc casually rebooting.
I mean, somewhat okay meme, but nope.
His steering wheel in the pit lane.
Why the fake laugh? I mean, it's... Come on. Pick funny twist and fucking fake laughing to bad memes.
Windows XP. Yes. I did find it, funny that he would literally he was rebooting his car in the pit lane, and then they come over the radio and say, we think it's fixed. What do you mean think?
If they don't know the problem, yeah, they will think they know they solved the problem. Fuck, why are you so stupid?
How do you, with your 12 billion lines of telemetry, why are we only thinking here?
Okay, so what is the problem then? Can you tell me? If you can't, are you also retarded? Light grey orange. Oh my god, this is a really special fish. So it's the opposite to what it should be.
And then it clearly wasn't fixed because they had to DNF him anyway. And that's his streak gone.
That's why they say they think they sold it. They don't believe they sold it, but they think they sold it. Man, you're stupid. One more fish for the collection.
I have just this second processed the fact that Charles Leclerc's top 4 streak is finished. I'm not okay. At Chris Gaming NL.
And also, this funny twist sounds like it went to not being funny at all. Matt, when you're asking about what happened during the 2024 Canada Grand Prix, let's see how funny this is.
Matt, when you ask him about what happened during the 2024.
Yeah, no, not fun at all.
That's a good one, Chris. Don't ask me. Don't ever ask me again. After this, well, not this recording, the podcast has to happen. Then after driver ratings, deleted from the memory. At Dr. I'm a Chuck. Now this one's quite small screen.
Okay. No, not fun at all.
Shots. So hopefully the editor's going to do some magic to actually show what the messages are here. But there are genuine people out there texting about problems for Leclerc, and obviously laughing faces reacting to the fact that they're watching our stream, and then there's nothing else to do than to tune in. How many of you did that this weekend? Q2, knockout.
I mean, I would, but I don't care.
Spike. Same for the race. Although that was a slightly more sort of prolonged.
Always funny to see
Q2
someone
was like
being
immediate.
sad.
But either or, how many of you
Or
think
angry.
about me when Charles Leclerc has a problem?
Everyone.
I'm sorry to all Twitch viewers that I told to F off when they came in. At Minoru79, Charles Leclerc driving the hard tyres through the rain. He was
Still
screwed.
not funny,
He was
come
just
on.
told,
Give me a funny
it on the
tweet.
track. Just keep it on the track. Why don't you get in the car then, mate? I mean, did you see the amount of rain that was coming down? Yes.
No.
It was supposed to be for a short amount of time. But my God, that was a dice roll and a half from Ferrari.
I mean, what could they do? I mean, can't you explain what they should have done instead? Feel like you're that smart, right? No.
Like, yeah, we'll just stick him out there. On the least grippy tyres in those conditions. On the hards. Yeah, just fit.
They were planning for us some rain, and then he will be perfect for when the track will get more of what's it called. Fuck me, dry.
Figure it out, Charles. At F1 Friends 2023, friend, how unlucky are you? Me, Charles Leclerc. I will say,
Still
aside
not
from
funny.
Monaco, where everything went to plan, that is usually what Charles Leclerc is like. Surprisingly, there's a couple more. At Cursed_Cupcake, an index to different types of headaches. Oh, I've never seen that before. That is quite something. And then to finish the
and it's
Ferrari
still not
memes,
funny.
at Zur FC, cannot believe.
Okay, here we have actually something funny.
Ferrari double DNF. So what are you predicting for Barcelona? Championship back on. You know me. If you watch the podcast, not right now.
So after 6 minutes of not funny tweets, we have one funny tweet.
There's no delusion whatsoever. Max Verstappen's winning the championship by 200 points. Come back to me next week. Oh, Perez. So not only were Ferrari in a bit of trouble, there was another driver, Sergio Perez, who just had his contract announced until, well, it's probably, I think it's a 1+1, even though they sort of communicated it's a 2-year deal. Either way, contract announced very early. Go on, Sergio, make it happen. And he had a terrible weekend. At soft_left_tyre, Checo getting a 2-year extension and then going out in Q1 and crashing in the race.
I mean, here we also have so 2 funny tweets. Oh my god. Can more funny tweets happen?
So to go out in Q1 is something around Monaco. Might be a one-off. Canada happens again. Oh dear, that's not great, is it? Then the race. Considering everything that was going on, the one, like, everything jumbled up, the thing, Haas coming through, all of these things to keep an eye on, everything moving around. The one constant was Sergio Perez in 17th for a very long time in the race. In a Red
I mean, that's almost a Bottas race.
Bull. It's a conversation we don't
And where were Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc?
want to have because it's all the time. But Red Bull keeps signing him, and so we're like, well, is he under pressure? At Azura Light, Horner with Checo's contract. Now, I'm sure there are clauses. I'm sure there are things to get Red Bull out of a sticky situation.
Or there isn't, because then they will lose Max Verstappen. Because that I think that it could be that one more fish for the collection. Only reason for the 2-year contract is to have Max Verstappen still in the car. I mean, it could be just to make Max Verstappen happy, you need to have Perez in the other car. If you want to lose Max Verstappen, you sign someone else in the other car. That's probably it.
Should Sergio Perez continue to do what he's doing, but it is almost a carbon copy of what we had last year. What is going? Is there something in the air that Perez doesn't like? I don't get it. I honestly cannot figure it out because he looked so strong at the start of the year, very consistent, right at the front. And
I mean, Ferrari looks really good in Monaco. Why are they now not looking good?
now he is in a Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber car painted as a Red Bull.
Oh, like Ferrari.
24 Perez just recreated this meme. Get that thing.
Nope, still not funny.
Thing off the road, brah.
One
Yeah,
more fish for the collection.
I will be interested to see how much damage he's done to that Red Bull, because of course there was talk about them not being able to have any more damage to the car, otherwise the development will be slowed down, if not halted, and spare parts and all that sort of stuff that we've heard before with Williams. And of course, wiping out the rear wings, not ideal. And did you see as well, Lando Norris seeing the incident of Perez crashing in the wall backwards and immediately shouted Seb Vettel. That did not go down well with the Seb Vettel fans. I can tell you that one for free. I'm sure he didn't mean it horribly, but to be fair, who else thought?
Yeah, I would say the commentary I heard mentioned that also, that he did something similar to Sebastian Vettel. So more people saw that.
Of that. We all kind of thought of that particular moment. Of course, Vettel's was nowhere near as bad. He didn't go in backwards, and he only lost first place on the last lap to Jenson Button. But still, it was same corner. Honourable mentions. At Delboy JH, George Russell's brain when there isn't a gap to overtake. Now, of course, that was a big thing, wasn't it, George Russell? Is he going to win from pole position? No.
This is somewhat good, not funny, I wouldn't say. It's okay.
But he was in the mix, could have easily won the race. I think that there was a chance, but he even called it an ugly race or something like that. So he knew deep down that he didn't drive a perfect race because he was quick. He really was. He had fresh tyres at the end. But my goodness me, Russell on Piastri. Now, as of time of recording, he hasn't got a penalty.
Oh shit, who should have a penalty here? Who said that? Yeah, Carlos Sainz should maybe have one. Shit, go away.
Is he going to get one? I think it's touch and go, because he just turns in like Oscar isn't there. So for me, it's hard, because of course the way in which
It could lead to 3 points, maybe, who knows?
penalties are decided is not because of the consequence or the what happens after it's the actual movement. But we know that isn't the case.
True.
And he came off worse. Piastri just carried on. So I will say probably not, but we'll see. And then, of course, George at the end did an absolutely amazing overtake on his teammate. You could tell he was chomping at the bit to get through, and that was
One more fish for
sensational
the
into the last chicane.
collection.
At Alex Humphrey _33, Canada, you've been amazing. F1 fans watching Canada, you had rain, McLaren's first points. McLaren's first points in a decade.
What? Oh shit, somebody... Let's see, Haas on full wets? Yeah, sure. Top 4 fight, I would say just top 3, but sure. Rain, Carlo, Classic Perez, sure, double points, but McLaren first points in a decade. That's interesting, what that means.
What am I missing there? Double Alpine points, Classic Perez, top 4
Maybe it should be Aston Martin. Who knows?
fight, Haas on full wets, Ferrari and Williams double DNF. Williams as well having a shocker. Albon very unlucky to collect signs the way he did. But
One more fish for the
Sargent.
collection.
Sargent. We gotta put.
Yeah, sorry, did the first safety car, so could have ruined Norris race.
Someone else in there. We do. I wouldn't be surprised if Williams just sort of cut it short and let Kimi Antonelli have a play or something.
Oh shit.
Since M. Shumi, focus George. Now, Toto Wolff, I think there is actually another meme that pretty much sums this up beautifully. Let me include it now. It is from, there it is, at Formula Latest. Toto on the radio to Russell. It was Darth Vader-like. It was, we can, Toto coming over the radio and saying, focus, George, focus, is basically, you are quick enough to win this race, go and do it.
Oh, here should I go?
And he did not. At Mr. Bear 15, Haas at the start of the race versus the rest of the race.
True.
They look like...
Okay, the tweet before maybe somewhat okay. Let's see, what was it? Maybe, don't know. This is also somewhat okay, but not funny.
Versus the rest of the race. They look like strategic masterclass geniuses. When K-Mag was flying through the field, at one point, I thought K-Mag was going to win the race. I didn't really,
Almost.
deep down. But, little rainstorm, and he could have easily taken the lead. Probably would have lost it somehow, because Haas then decided that they weren't going to have tyres ready in the pits. And they didn't even score a point in the end of all of that after having such an amazing start.
That's good.
You might think, okay, well, they had to pit early, but yes, they were out of sync slightly, but they would have fresher inters, and had they had good pit stops, they would have been a lot more in the mix. But yeah, instead they had a tale of two halves, I think, to put it politely, right? But at the beginning, my God. And I felt like commentary just weren't even sort of latching onto that K-Mag was going faster than everybody and could have led the race. He didn't. It would have been amazing. Can you
Maybe the bad British commentary, but if you have good commentary, people will then say it.
imagine K-Mag and Max Verstappen side by side? There's only one ending to that. At _SE68, Lando and Max laughing about that pit stop battle is such a cute bromance thing, isn't it? The way in which they, in the cool-down room, just watching back the race. I love that more than life itself, by the way.
Okay, but not funny.
I genuinely think that's up there with watching the actual race, is seeing the drivers react to it. But those two laughing, Lando getting squirrely on the pit exit on the wet line. I do wonder when that's going to change. Surely one day when those two have a little wheel bang and they don't agree, then I'm interested to see that cool-down room. But all right now, it's lovey-dovey. Oh, and I've forgotten one more Ferrari one, which I should have included in the Ferrari segment, but we're going to throw it in honourable mentions. At Sakuzuki
No, still not funny.
Kenu. 2022 Ferrari strategy is back. Oh, Benotto. Oh, I wonder how he is. He's probably on a vineyard with Gunther Steiner, recording another episode for Drive to Survive in 2025.
Oh, time for the worst tweet ever.
Okay, it's
One
Tommy's
more fish for
tasty
the
tweet
collection.
time. We've got Tommy on the line. Tommy, where are you calling from today, sir?
I'm calling from Ferrari Painville, actually.
Good one.
One more
Who
fish
won
for the
Tommy's
collection.
tasty tweet
And there we
sponsored by
have.
EA and F124?
It was
normal.
Dogan with this incredible tweet. More Ferrari pain. And it
No, this is not fun
was
at all.
actually in reference to our P1 Extra video, where we said, can Ferrari win this year's World Championship? And then had their worst race in about 5 years. So, yeah,
Good.
good jinx there.
Yeah, great jinx. So for those of you that are wondering as well, P1 Extra is our second YouTube channel. So if you want to go and watch that video,
No,
where I basically
I will
hyped up
not.
Ferrari's chances of winning the entire
saw one
thing.
And how they
Video
never
there.
make mistakes.
It was
and
so
they
bad.
always
You were
delivering the
agreeing.
maximum.
You were agreeing.
It was true until today, when they did
Until
literally
today.
the opposite.
But yes, great meme. Well done. You win a copy of F124. And thank you,
It
Tommy,
was
as
not a
always,
great
for being
meme.
you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the Canadian Grand Prix.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, 2 good memes. It was... this one. And this one. This is the 2 only memes I would say is actually funny. So, a lot of wasted time in that video. Man, that's so depressing. Okay, but now, the most amazing thing you can ever watch. Peter Windsor. His information about races are, I would say, the best. The information you can get. The interesting facts that you can learn about how stuff once was. It's like, you can never get something better than this. So let's see what he have to say.
Of perspectives or cameos will not do justice to the Canadian Grand Prix at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve today. What a fabulous race it was. Action-packed, as it often is in Formula One, when it's semi-wet, dry online, damp offline, then rain, intermediate slicks, lots going on. Too much going on, really, to take in for one afternoon.
Yeah, a lot
win for
of
Max
stuff
Verstappen.
happened.
But how to quantify that? You can quantify it against the excellence of Lando Norris in the McLaren Mercedes, and also the sheer pace and aggression of George Russell in the Mercedes, and Oscar Piastri also, racer that he is, as well as a very, very fast racing driver, backing up Lando.
I'm hoping that Oscar Piastri can be good at the ties, at least for the next season. Because, man, see him up there and then not get a podium is like, why? Please, give him the podium, he deserves it.
Beautifully in the other McLaren Mercedes. And as good a place as any to jump in might well be the last part of the race when they're behind the safety car. It's the second safety car. And they're now on slicks. They're on mediums, basically, although Lewis is on hard tyres because he hasn't got any more mediums to put on. He and George have stopped for new tyres. George for a new set of mediums, Lewis for a new set of hards, and that's dropped them behind the 2 McLarens. So it's Max, 2 McLarens led by Lando, and then the 2 Mercedes. And I have to say, at this moment, I was absolutely convinced that Lando Norris was going to win the Canadian Grand Prix because he'd been unbelievably quick in the early phase of the race, particularly on intermediates on a drying track, when the McLaren seemed to get more out of them and running them down to slicks and getting a massive amount of grip, whereas the Red Bull certainly the Red Bull was unable to do that, and the Mercedes never looked as convincing as the McLaren in that respect. And Lando had got a bad break with the safety car, having got the lead, having passed both Max and George, and then 4 laps later Max got past George as well, even though George drove really well off the line to take the lead and lead the early phase of this Grand Prix from the pole. So Lando got a bad break with the safety car because he was just by the start-finish line when it came out, and when the message came out, and both George and Max were able to come in for a free set of intermediates, because it was likely to rain again in about 4 laps. They came in for a free set of intermediates, and Lando had to do another lap, and that dropped Lando back to 3rd place, and that was Max Verstappen leading from George Russell. And when the rain came a few laps later, sure enough, Max, with the setup that I've been talking about yesterday.
Yeah, so we can say that Norris was on. Oh, one more fish for the collection. So he was unlucky where he was with the safety car. Unlucky. Thanks, Lawyer Sargent.
Was able to pull away, and you thought, wow, this is, if it's going to stay wet, Max is going to do it. But it didn't stay wet. It got drier, and George and Lando started to get very, very close again to Max, particularly in Sector 2. Max unable to use any of the curb that he would normally have liked, and there's 2 chicanes in Sector 2, was really hurting him. Sector 1 he was okay, because it's fairly delicate motoring in Sector 1, particularly coming out of that first chicane. It's quite a quick exit, and then you've got that kink to the left, and if it's damp and it's raining, you've really got to have a lot of finesse there, and that's where Max was doing really well in Sector 1. Also, the change of direction, as I always said, between turn 1 and turn 2, he was really good through there. And then finally Sector 3, where he was always going to be pretty good on a par, providing the conditions were more or less what he'd set the car up to do, which they were. So Sector 3 he was always good. But Sector 2 was his nemesis, and it was a problem, and he was vulnerable there. And bearing in mind that Lando had outlandishly passed him, excuse the pun, earlier in the race, at this point now, with 10 laps to go, on medium tyres, slick tyres with the dry groove, it even though it was slightly damp turns 1 and 2, it was Lando Norris's race to win in my eye. That's what I thought. Lando was going to win it. I think a lot of people out there did too. The McLaren was so good.
I did.
And he didn't. Max just pulled away, and it was for sure it was an excellent piece of driving by Max Verstappen, because I don't think on the day that Red Bull was as good as the McLaren in terms of its drivability, certainly over curbs obviously, but in terms of the downforce, the traction versus the top speed, difficult really to make that call, because Lando was in DRS and very, very good in DRS. The McLaren was very good in DRS, which is why I thought he was going to win the race. But amazingly, over those last 10 laps, Max did what he's done so many times before and what he does so well under pressure. Just 1/10 here, 1/10 there, absolutely on the limit. And what he'd defined in his mind was a lap of Montreal where he couldn't touch any of the curbs. And that's probably, in a funny sort of way, what won him the race, because quite early on, quite early on this 10-lap run right to the finish, Oscar Piastri grained a rear tyre. And then Lando was starting to have trouble with graining a little bit and having to back away, whereas Max, at this stage of the race, in a car that wasn't as good as an RB20 has been in other races, didn't apparently have any tyre issues, and possibly that's because he wasn't using curb and because he was being unbelievably precise in the way he was driving the car, and that's how he won it. And he won it going away from Lando Norris.
True.
Unbelievably good drive. And I'm surprised, I'm still surprised Lando didn't win that race. And there was a lot of talk afterwards about, well, Lando could have won it if he hadn't had that bad break with the safety car. I don't buy that, because that all came back to him.
I mean, maybe that's true, but it would maybe made it more closer for him to maybe trying to win the race.
In that last phase, the safety car bunched them up together. There was Lando. His tyres were fresher than Max's as well, by a little bit, and it was there. He was going to have the benefit of DRS, and Max still won that race, which begs the question of whether or not Max really does have a car that is as difficult as he makes it sound, because over those last 10 laps, the Red Bull looked exactly like the Red Bull that we've seen all year when it's been winning races.
So maybe Max Verstappen doing everyone a favor by looking really bad. So you think that is not a Red Bull domination, and then they still do a Red Bull domination. And
I did say in one of the live streams that people were saying, questions from viewers were saying, you know, given all the problems that Red Bull had at Monaco, do you think now they're in trouble when they're going to Canada, and what's it going to be like? And I said, well, if it's dry, I'm pretty sure that the RB20 will still be the best car there. And yes, they may have to compromise
And
a bit
it
over
was.
the curb, but probably after the race, Max will be saying, oh yeah, it was okay, but you know, we won the race, didn't we? And that's exactly what he said when asked after the race about the curbs and how difficult the car was to drive. Max said, oh yeah, a few problems, but we won the race, didn't we? That's exactly what I said. And that puts it all into perspective. And just to reiterate what I'd always said, and that is at Monaco with no straights, it was absolutely focusing on the compromises that they've had to do at Red Bull to create that car. And in some areas, they're not as good as the McLaren, but they make up for it when they go to circuits with longer straights. But Max had to really do the job today, and it was really difficult at moments for him. Sergio Perez went off again in the other car, as predictably he was going from the back of the grid there, and just made it look and underlined how difficult that RB20 was to drive. And as much as Lando was brilliant today, absolutely fabulous. I mean, he looked like Jenson Button when he was winning the Canadian.
Man, I want to hear if Lewis Hamilton was also this great.
Grand Prix for McLaren. He looked exactly the same, and you had this feeling that he was going to do it. And his passes, his initial passes in DRS of both George and Max were superb, beautifully judged, totally confident, and just lovely, fluid driving. That type of driving we saw in Miami when he was sailing away to victory. And that's what it looked like. Okay, the safety car did drop him back, but he did get this double break, if you like, if that's the right phrase, of coming back to be P2 behind Max, with the safety car bunching them up in the last 10 laps, and Max's 5-second lead disappearing. And you would have thought that was the moment when Lando would be saying, yes, back again. But as I said, just to repeat the point, I thought Max in those last 10 laps was just amazing. So he won that race, Max Verstappen.
True.
But it was like, did he really win that race? Because Lando was brilliant, George was brilliant, Oscar was really good. I mean, all I can do is
Lewis Hamilton, what wasn't he amazing?
let's talk about some of the little moments, these cameo moments. There was a battle between George and Oscar when George had the benefit of new tyres, and this is also in the last phase of the race, because both Mercedes drivers had come in for new tyres.
Oh,
George
they
for a
have
new set of
finally
mediums,
got moved away.
and Lewis for a new set of hards, because there weren't any more mediums left. But he came out in front of George because George then made a mistake at the second chicane. Anyway, he had a massive battle with Oscar Piastri and had the benefit of DRS coming into that last chicane. And Oscar's on the inside, and this guy's still relatively new and young in Formula One, isn't he? George Russell's as tough as it gets in the Mercedes, and he's on the outside, and George is just assuming that Oscar's going to back away and give him the corner.
And he didn't.
George is on the racing line. Oscar just stays there. And they try and George drives into it. He may get a penalty, I don't know. I just hope Oscar Piastri doesn't get a penalty. I mean, George had to go down the escape road thing, and of course that's and that was a big drama. And
Oh,
from his
shit.
point
Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. I wonder if he will mention that.
of view, he's thinking, oh, you know, I made too many mistakes. But I don't think George. I thought George drove a really good race. I mean, he was bound to have issues in traffic. There were bound to be errors. Because that car's not as good as a McLaren in terms of its overall package, and George wrung the absolute maximum from it and still finished third. And I felt very sorry for Lewis Hamilton at the end of the race, because
Why?
he'd got held up a lot by Fernando Alonso early when it was wet, and he was stuck behind Fernando.
Why? That was the best part. Lewis Hamilton being behind Alonso for so many laps. That was so funny.
And you thought at the time, I say stuck now because he quite clearly was, but at the time you thought, oh, there's these two old stages having this big battle, and there's no way Lewis could get past, and Lewis had a couple of moments at the first corner going straight on and things like that. But he got him in the pit stop and got in front, and as soon as he's in front of Fernando, he just disappeared. And Fernando was on hard tyres, I must say, so it wasn't really a straight fight, but he did get him in the pit stop. So anyway, Lewis then wanted to come in for tyres, but they didn't have any mediums, and I couldn't believe actually the conversation on the radio of Lewis saying, well, can't I go to softs? They said, well, we don't think the softs are going to last, Lewis. Well, why can't I have mediums? Well, we haven't got any left. You'd think they would have sorted that out before the race. You'd think they would know, wouldn't you?
One more fish for the collection.
But anyway, he didn't, and he had to go out in hards, and he was in front of George because George had made this mistake at the second chicane, and George passed him. You know, such a shame for Lewis because he was looking really good and he could have been third in that race.
I
And he got
could,
beaten
but he
because
wasn't.
He'd run out of mediums. He'd used one set more, obviously,
Trident.
than George in the build-up
Give me a
to the
trident.
race and to get the car where he wanted. So he had to live with that. But the upside was that the hard tyres were actually quite good. And guess who's hit fastest lap? Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, I mean, Lewis put up a bit of a fight as well. I was thinking, there's no way in the world Lewis is going to get passed by George here. But he did. I mean, George did the thing down the inside. And Lewis sort of jinked a little bit and then had to back away. It certainly made
God
it
damn it.
difficult.
This is the
So,
4th time.
Yeah, George's
They
race,
killing themselves.
very good off the line. And if Max was going to
boring.
benefit from the setup he had on the Red Bull, it was going to be at the start when the track was quite wet, and it got pretty wet around lap 6 or 7, rained again. But that was never going to happen if George made a good start from the pole and Max was behind George and couldn't get him. And that was what happened. George made a good start and Max just had to file in behind him, and then he did his usual thing of
One more
dropping away
trident.
a little bit, not sitting right in the toe, and the car's on full tanks, just let everything settle down. And George was looking incredibly comfortable and composed in the car. But both of them went through those intermediates in that early phase, even though Max was really good when the rain came and he pulled right up behind George. Both of them used their
Still no
tyres more.
trident.
Well, I don't know if they did. Both of them used their tyres a lot, but then Lando started setting fastest laps at that stage of the race on his intermediates and catching them both and then passing them both. And it's just like the McLaren was so good on those inters when they were worn down almost to being slicks. Lando just lap times just went down exponentially, and everybody else has seemed to sort of stay the same, get a little bit quicker. Nobody seemed to get the benefit of the worn intermediates in the way the McLarens did. It was a weird thing, but congratulations to McLaren for the setup they had. And again, just as I say that, I keep thinking of those last 10 laps about why Lando didn't win that race. I still can't work out why he didn't win that race, because he had DRS.
Man, this is the first time I think... one more fish for the collection. The pity with Sir doesn't know. I mean, it's many stuff that they don't know or 100% know. But even trying to know, he don't know. Probably,
And he
yeah,
had such a
first
great
time.
car. And maybe it was just Max doing what great racing drivers do, and just driving these perfect laps, 4 or 5, 6, 7 perfect laps with not one small error. And Lando, perhaps in turbulence in other parts of the lap, making maybe just a small error somewhere, doing something, but just graining the tyres, tending towards graining that Max wasn't doing at that point. Because he couldn't, because the suspension was locked, and every time he went over a curve, it almost knocked him out. Yeah, right. Anyway, that's the story, and that's what Red Bull stick.
Yeah, time for some Ferrari. Oh, it will probably
That's what
happen.
Max is sticking with, and it's probably right. Who might have said? Who else? Who else drove really well today? I mean, it was just one of those days.
Charles
when
Leclerc.
There was just so much going on.
Carlos Sainz.
Oscar Piastri drove really well, I thought. He couldn't beat the 2 Mercs at the end because they were on new tyres, but he was
New
right up
fish for the
there
collection.
most of the day and causing trouble for all the opposition, doing a very good job. And the 2 Aston Martins were 6th and 7th, never really in it. I suppose you could say, oh yeah, great in the points, good result, but it was pretty, given how good that car had looked in the hands of Fernando Alonso and occasionally Lance Stroll in the build-up to the race when the track was wet, semi-wet, whatever. It was a disappointing day, I thought, for Aston Martin. And then Daniel Ricciardo, who drove really well. He'd driven well all weekend, drove really well in the race. And right at the end, there was a bit of a skirmish because Esteban Ocon, who'd benefited quite a lot from strategy calls and safety cars, was in front of Pierre Gasly. But Pierre was on fresher tyres, and they said to Esteban, we got a chance of catching Ricciardo, give position to Pierre. Of course, he didn't like that, having had the shunt with Pierre at Monaco and then being told he's leaving the team at the end of the year. He didn't want to do it, but he did do it in the end. But Pierre did not get Daniel Ricciardo and finished in front of Esteban anyway, which wouldn't have pleased Esteban very much, I don't think.
Man, this is the amazing thing I missed. Man, that's funny. That must make Esteban Ocon happy.
It was a terrible day for Ferrari. kind of as predicted. After that qualifying in the middle of the field, Carlos went back and eventually had a moment and went off and didn't finish. And Charles Leclerc's engine lost power very early in the race, to the point where he couldn't do any passing. He kept being passed by everybody once DRS came into play. And he went on to slicks much too early. He was at the back of the field anyway. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, I suppose they're thinking gamble, but then it rained even harder, so he had to come back in for intermediates, and eventually they retired his car. So I suppose you could argue, in a way, if you're going to have a horrendous engine problem like that, as Charles did, that you might as well have it in a race where you were not in contention anyway. So I guess that was the only positive to Ferrari's weekend.
True.
It was just appalling.
One more fish for the collection. From start to finish. Oh, 100%
so
orange.
Hard times ahead for Ferrari, although going to the Spanish Grand Prix next weekend, they'll be thinking, but it's difficult to imagine that we're not going to be quick around Barcelona.
And one
so
more.
We'll put Canada behind us very quickly, and we'll focus on Spain, and Carlos will be good there for sure, as will Charles, and let's look forward to that. And because it is a triple header, we're in the middle of a triple header, coming up to the Spanish Grand Prix, the mid race of the triple header. A lot of teams will be rushing back now and putting Canada very quickly behind them. So the key points are that Red Bull, despite a car with lock suspension that almost knocks out Max whenever he hits a curb, won the Canadian Grand Prix and won it in the dry in the last 10 laps of the race, with a lot of pressure, potential pressure from Lando Norris behind him. A really, really good win by Max. The McLaren have a great race car, regardless of the type of circuit, not far away from Red Bull, sometimes ahead of Red Bull when circumstances allow. And both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri driving beautifully.
So hopefully more wins for
definitely made some progress,
Oscar,
but harder on tires than McLaren. And that George Russell is one of the most aggressive drivers in Formula One, not that we didn't know that already. And that's it, that's the order. And then Aston Martin kind of picking up the pieces after that, and Ferrari having that horrendous day, but let's forget about that and focus on Monaco and Barcelona. It's about all you can do, I think. So yeah, a great race, I think, great race on television, 350,000 people in Canada as well. And I'm pleased to say that groundhog did survive. I think it's a groundhog. Maybe in Canada they call them something different, but it did survive. Max missed it. I'm sure it was all reflexes. Max perfectly judging it as he went on to victory. So that was the good news story of the day. And yeah, what a day. What a race.
I didn't see that. Huh. That's somewhat
and
nice
ending.
ending.
Country as well for Formula One. Really, really going. And pleased that the F1 exhibition is on in Toronto as well, and that's going very well too. So anyway, as I say, triple header, Spanish Grand Prix next weekend. We'll maybe try to get in a live stream this week. Really flat out last week, so apologies for not doing one in the build up to the Canadian Grand Prix, but we'll try and do one early this week, next week. Yeah, losing track of time now. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.
Okay. It's time to... Okay, let's see. Canadian Grand Prix. 175th Grand Prix for Haas, nobody cares. 219 fastest qualifying lap by a British driver. 180 Grand Prix led by Mercedes. Okay, nobody care. 180 Grand Prix led by Red Bull Racing. That's interesting. 16 Grand Prix win from Max Verstappen. 10th top 6 for Oscar Piastri. 5th 50 top 10 for George Russell. Okay, nobody cares about that. Uh, 18, 20, 22, 24, 30, 36, 40. Plus 100, see, 53. Yep, 53. So let's see how many copies. Oh shit, go away. Go away. Do we have anything from Kym Illman? Yes, something about George Russell avoiding arrest.
Good day from me.
Yeah, good day, mate. When I'm somewhat done, we can start watching that. Okay, let's see. Full. Oh, light blue. I think we should have one more. Nope. Only two. That's not good. Light blue clay fish. Light. Okay, there we have the light blue. Boring. And striped orange. Light blue clay fish. Yep, light blue. Stripy orange. Nope. Now time for all the fun stuff. Okay, then we can maybe take some flopper and dasher. Dasher, one dasher. Okay, I want, okay, go away, glitter. I hear you. Okay, the only batty and both, yeah, both yellow. Yellow. Okay, yellow black. Boring. Yellow lime. Nice. At least one of them wasn't a copy. Yep, yellow black. Then we have blockfish. Blockfish. One more blockfish. Oh, there's 2 dasher. Oh, one more flopper. Welcome in, summer penguin. Nope. Fuck did you go? Oh, you're up there. Right. There you are. Okay, back to the blockfish. Pink, green. Yep, boring. Magenta white. God damn it. Green. Green, black. Nice. One more fish added for the collection. Green, blue. Nope. Yellow. Yellow, pink. God damn it. White, brown. Do we have a white, brown? Nope. Pink, brown. Pink, brown. Yep, we had pink, brown. Time for dasher. Yellow, gray. Brown, white. Brown, white. Light blue, red. Light blue, red. No! Yellow cyan. Do we have a yellow cyan in the collection? Yes, we have. Orange, light blue. And that we also have. Yellow, purple. That we don't have. Nice. Green, red. Let's see how many. 6, 8, 10. 10. I want more snooper. Then I want spotty. We take that for now. Grey, yellow, so 10. 20. 20 minus 40, that's 20. So it doesn't look good for now. Grey, yellow. Cyan, white. Cyan, white. Okay, Magenta, purple. I wanna Fishemon, gonna catch them all. I want you and you want me. Fishemon, gonna catch them all. Magenta, purple. Brown, red. Now I should be able to maybe take the rest. Stripey. And I could, but that was super close. No cob. Snooper, brown, white. Brown, white. Nice. Purple, yellow. Purple, yellow. Snooper, purple. Purple, yellow. You have, goddammit. Do we have any more purple? Nope. And we have a lime. Lime. They have a lime. God damn it, red, purple. Oh shit. We should do that. Lime gray. Let's see. Red, purple. Okay, nice. Purple, yellow. Purple, yellow. Yep, true. Black, light blue. Black. Wait, black pink. Nope. Go away. Red gray. Do we have a red gray? And that we don't have. Blue cyan. Blue snooper. Snooper blue. There is snooper blue. Blue cyan. So 9, 10, 11. Blue cyan. Time for spotty. Sun red. Oh, nice. Cyan red. Pink gray. Man, so many. And this is what we're thinking. That probably all these copies will then go be good when I get it there. To the S fixtures. Pink cyan. Because I usually get when I get many of them, it's usually not a copy. Pink cyan. Light gray orange. Green red. Green red. Magenta light blue. Nice. Man's light gray was it? Fuck me. A cyan gray. Black purple. Black purple. Pink cyan. Orange, pink. I want to catch them on orange, pink. Okay, how many did this end up being? 6, 12, 15, 18. Well, this wasn't 20 minus, but this was 18. And like always, it's time to say goodbye. No, but it's time to say go through everything to make sure I didn't mess up. Sometimes I have done it, not often, but you don't wanna fucking do a mistake with this. It's too much work to just be looking one time. Fuck, I'm looking at pink green. Oh, they were pink green. Magenta. White. Green, blue. Yellow, pink. Yellow, pink, pink, brown. Dasher, yellow, gray. Light blue, red. Yellow, cyan. Yellow, cyan. Orange, light blue. Brown, red. Purple, yellow. Oh, this was the purple snooper. Purple snooper. They are the purple snooper. Black, pink. No, purple, yellow, not yellow. Black, pink. Sign grey. Sunstreak, black, purple. Orange, pink. Yep. Didn't need to care about this. Let's go and place them down. And while we're doing that, let's see Kym Illman on George Russell avoids arrest.
G'day from a
Good
wet
day,
and
mate.
soggy Montreal. George Russell nearly arrested this morning. Yes,
Why?
By the police. Why?
Yeah, tell me why.
Well, let's go back to this morning. I was doing driver arrivals and I caught George coming in, and one of his crew told me that they'd had a big run-in with the police. The traffic situation had changed dramatically today from the previous few days, and George thought he was doing the right thing by going on the same route that he'd taken before. Well, the police were on the scene and they weren't happy. Not happy at all. They pulled him up and they had a very strong word with him, and I was told that one of the police actually almost threw his badge at George. Sounds like he didn't care whether or not he was an F1 driver. It was an honest mistake, according to George's
Yellow, black.
camp, but the police were very angry. Very lucky for
Pink,
George that he
green.
didn't get done. Now, this is
Magenta
not as
white.
serious as that Scotty Scheffler incident where
Green,
actually
blue.
Scott is in real trouble with the law.
Yellow, pink.
But certainly it put a dent in George's day.
Pink,
Did that
brown.
affect George's performance on track today?
Yellow, grey.
No, it didn't. He put it on pole.
Light blue,
In fact,
red.
he and Max Verstappen had
Yellow
the
sign.
exact same time in qualifying, down to
Orange,
the
light blue.
1,000th of a second. I'm going to come back
Brown,
to that
red.
in a second because I want to talk more about the
Purple,
Montreal
yellow.
police. You remember
Black,
yesterday
pink.
there was that big drama where
Blue,
hundreds and
cyan.
hundreds of people were told by the police that
Cyan,
FP1
grey.
and 2 had been cancelled and they were to go home.
Black,
They were locked
purple.
on that bridge. They weren't allowed into the track.
Orange,
People
pink.
waiting at metro stations weren't allowed to get on the trains. They were told to go home too. Well, I can tell you that the police say that the organiser had told them that those sessions were cancelled and they were acting in good faith on the word of the organiser. But the organisers say no, they didn't tell the police anything. On top of that, people here in the paddock are saying that the people at the metro stations had just got wind of something and they were the ones who decided to tell people to go back home. So this appears to be a classic case of, hey, it's not me, which leaves all those people who were turned away out of pocket and very angry with apparently no recourse. I'm not sure this is the end of the story, but
Minus
certainly
18.
last night's video that I put up, and you can go and check that out if you want, there's a link in the description below, that really set off. I couldn't believe the amount of hatred in the comments for the police. No, I don't live in this country, I don't know what the background is, but if you have a look at those comments, they're not well liked. I've just spoken to a mechanic from Haas who told me
Maybe they're too close to the American cops.
he had a very similar situation last year. They changed the road layout. He thought that he was being waved through. He goes through because he thinks the police have seen the sticker, and suddenly they're banging on his bonnet. He's already taken off, and it was a hell of a scene. He was lucky not to be yanked out of that car. So it's not an isolated incident, I would suggest. Let's go back to quali. Weather was a factor. And in fact, I had a chat with one of the drivers and said, how wet do you get when it's raining in that car? And they said, pretty much just your shoulders, get a little bit damp, and maybe your gloves, but it's not like water pools down in the cockpit. Now, if you just caught the news that George was on pole and didn't realise that he had exactly the same time as Max Verstappen, yes, down to 1,000th of a second. And the reason that George got pole was because he set his time first in the session. I was on the fence for Parc Ferme when the three cars pull up in pit lane, and George did his fantastic little signature move. Then Lando parked, jumped out, and then I caught these pictures and I can't work out why he was laughing and so joyful. Look, I haven't watched any replays yet, but perhaps if you know or you've seen something on TV, I'd be most grateful if you put a comment down below. Now, something else I want to bring to your attention are these shoes. I thought these were remarkable. The woman wearing them told me that she'd had them hand-painted, and there's such detail in this artwork. And if you follow my Instagram page, you'll know every week I do the shoes of the paddock. This one will be my #1 picture. What else can I tell you about? Oh, Esteban Ogone let slip yesterday. He has signed up a drive for next year, and everyone pretty much believes it's Mercedes. He'll do a year there before Kimi Antonelli comes in 2026. And great news for Yuki Tsunoda today.
Really? No, why? Why waste 1 year time of Antonelli's Formula 1 career in not Mercedes?
Because his contract was extended for a further year. He'll be driving in that car for 2025, and no news yet on Daniel Ricciardo. Let's now go to Ollie's hand-drawn pick. This is the mechanic from Red Bull, and every race he draws something on the ground at the Red Bull garage. Now, he said he'd done his picture.
One more fish for the collection.
Yes, I can see this beautiful groundhog or beaver, whatever it is. Excuse my ignorance. So I take a photo of that, and he said, "Did you get the picture of the moose?" I said, "No, I got the beavers." "Oh, that was last year." And I thought, "Oh, right, there's the moose," which is a marvellous piece of artwork. Oh, let me tell you, I went out for quali to the Wall of Champions, and it's quite amazing because those cars get very close. In fact, they get so close that they hit the wall occasionally, and that's what happened with Lance Stroll. He cleaned up, well, he didn't clean it up, but he certainly brushed it with great vigour. I didn't take a picture at the moment that he hit it, but
Two
my
more
gosh,
fish
I was
for the
standing
collection.
right next to it. I was an inch away from the metal fence, and you could feel that impact. It was sizable. I was photographing with a gentleman from Ferrari, Carlo, and he and I just looked at each other at the time and then gave each other a fist bump, as if to say, we got out of jail there. But that's the second time in 2 races that I've felt Lance Stroll's impact. Because going back to Monaco, I was shooting at the exit of swimming pool. There's a little knee-high fence there, and I had my camera just sitting on the top, but about 10 metres around from where the cars typically touch that barrier, and bang, Lance once again hit that, and the impact was felt about 10 metres around that fence. Drivers, wives and girlfriends, who will be seen at this race? Just 2, Alexandra, who is Charles Leclerc's girlfriend. I saw her get out of the car.
Charles Leclerc really needs support now.
Today, and I'm not going to tell you what car they've driven because Charles actually has a yellow Ferrari. You might have seen this vision the other night from the front of his hotel. But he's not driving that car to the track. He's driving something very plain, and it doesn't even have a number plate, or a tag as they call them in the US. But anyway, here she is getting out of that car, and the other one was Mary Lou, who is Lance Stroll's girlfriend. Now, we haven't seen her at a track for, I'm not sure we've seen her at all this year. Now, behind me is a poutine station, and this food here...
Pro-Russia place. Putin.
Look at this here. This is potato chips with cheese and gravy. Not very good for you, but it is very popular in this country, and everyone that's I've met here said you have to have it. Well, I've had it before, and it's very nice. But I've already had one this morning, so thank you very much for that. But it's provided free of charge to anyone in the paddock, and it's not the only food offering here. A little bit further up the paddock, you can get yourself a bagel with cream cheese, and once again, all this is absolutely complimentary. And if you like prawns, shrimp, they're here too.
No.
Well, that's about it for me. I'm still somewhat irked that those people that were dudded yesterday by being told that the FP1 and 2 went on, go home, and did as they were advised, like good law-abiding citizens, have effectively been penalised for misinformation. And I don't think, because the parties involved will pass the blame to another one, that those people are going to get any compensation back. A lot of you suggested in the comments section of that video last night that you should get a class action going and get the lawyers onto it. That may well happen, but yeah, I thought that was a very poor state of affairs. Oh, and here's some more bad news for F1 fans in Montreal. There was a Pitbull concert on tonight, 20 to 30,000 people attending, and I just got a message here from Benji, who says after we had waited 2+ hours in the rain, they announced he had a mechanical issue with his plane and he would not be attending. Imagine if you'd bought tickets to the Friday track day and the Pitbull concert and been dudded twice. If you're one of those people, I feel for you. Now, with that said, I'm going to go and have something to eat, and I trust you've got something else to do. But before you go, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and for a whole lot of extra stuff, here's where you need to go. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Dum 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 dum.
True. Okay, your chassis couldn't have been been arrested. Let's see. No, I want to go. Okay, back to that. Is there? Nope. No. Go back to this. Yeah. Let's see if we can get some more fishes. Oh, zombie. I mean, it would be nice to get a trident. Not that I actually need a trident. I have a trident for every special enchantment. So I really don't need more tridents. But I just think it's funny to collect them. One more fish for the collection. I mean, maybe I can use them for something fun. Who knows? Like waste them on some stupid stuff. But to be able to waste them, I also need to get a lot of tridents so I can waste them. Where should I go? Where should I go? I know where I should go. Where is the fishes that I want to collect? One more. Give me more, give me more. See how many we have? 1435. 1435. 5 plus 30 is 14 and 65. 65, that is 1500, so 265 more to make, so it's just 1000 left. Oh shit, I need to place them down. Fucking bucket of salmon. Yeah. We looked for some more and then we end it. Nah, this was boring. One more lap. Surely we need to collect one more. And we did. One more. Can we be more lucky? Let's see. I don't know if I collect all the 2,700. Then it's time for... What did I choose? Ocelotos. Ocelot. Will be this... the thing I will do after this. And then when I'm flying and maybe trying to find a nice place, a nice mountain, goats and frogs will be collected. Man, this is so really good that I've not been exploring a lot, because every new update will brings a new animal, unless I go around in the world. You more easily will it be to find the stuff closer, like all the new dogs, the camels, maybe sniffer. Nope, this is the last turn. Now we're going back and we end it. And that's... And... Let's see... we stay here. 1435 we write down. 1435. And then we look what will happen. Let's see. Schedule next Formula 1 race will happen in like 2 weeks, I think. More or less 2 weeks. What will happen in the car? Okay, the next day is also in 2 weeks. Yeah, so 1 week without any Formula 1. Let's see what happened that week. But until more Formula 1 stuff,